Talk to me, Cleveland. You already know who this is. This is your brother, Kevin MC Chill Hurd. Kevin Chill Hurd. Welcome to I believe this is the 56th episode of Chill Talk. It could be the 55th, but we're going with the 56th right now. And we're gonna go right in with this one. We have my brother. Let me get the view together here on the gallery view. My brother Adam Lesson Morgan. For the people who've seen Chill Talk before, you've been in Chill Talk. He was on a very dynamic show. He was a guest. You guys need to go back and watch the show. Go to the Kevin Chill Hurd YouTube channel and pull up the show that we did on I think it was the bipolar. I don't know if that was the title of, was that the title of the show, brother Lesson?
Yes, sir.
I was the show we did. Was it bipolar disorder? Is that, no? That's what it was. Bipolar disorder. He was a part of that panel. Man, brothers went in on that one. But and if you've been on Chill Talk in the chat, you've seen him jumping out there with the hotep in the chat. I think that's the only hieroglyphic meta nature word that he knows. that he I don't know if that's the only greeting that he knows, but no, he knows many greetings. He knows all kinds of ancient words. But brother Lesson, what's going on, King?
Well, first of all, can I start with my greetings?
Okay, do your thing.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to greet you all in the words of peace. Assalamu alaikum, Habari Gani, Hotep, and praise the Lord. I'd like to give praise to the Creator. Without the Creator, none of this would be possible. I'd like to give praise to our ancestors. Without our ancestors, we would not be here today.
All right, there you go. Good one there, special. Now you were asking me about a book. You see a book in the library.
Yes, Do I Dare Disturb the Universe by Sharice Lyles.
Charlize Lyles, indeed. That's my sister, man. That's one of, anybody knows me. That's one of my favorite books. And it's and she represents the land. And Charlize Lyles she's tuned into the show. She checks out the Facebook page and the Instagram page. So big ups to that sister. And this book is incredible. I'm glad you pointed that out, Adam. It's Do I Dare Disturb the Universe, from the projects to prep school. This is a Cleveland story. This is a sister that grew up in the land, in the King Kennedy projects. And oh my God, it's a dynamic story. I got a chance to interview her in the early days of me covering stories at the Call and Post. And we formed a lifelong friendship ever since then. I believe she's in Atlanta right now, but I know her heart is always near and dear to Cleveland, to the land. So anybody wanna order that book up? Oh my God, it's an incredible book. I love that book. It's in my man. I know it's in my top 10. It might be in my top 5. But
Yeah, it's part of my Vitabu program.
yeah, that's that, and I appreciate you. Only you would even notice that book back there. But yeah, indeed it is. So, and shout out to Sister Charlie Flowers. I'll have to link her to this to let her know that she got a shout out, and because Brother Lesson uh noticed her book. And so while we're gonna Sister Natalie is still trying to get in. Hopefully, this will be the charm. We're talking about an organization, the International Men of Excellence. The organization has been putting in work on the back lines, the middle lines for a long time. But you guys kind of been undercover, really just putting that work in. And we have one of your good members. So Adam, real quick, introduce brother Martin, and then we're gonna get down to what this organization is all about.
Well, Brother Martin has been rolling with me for a while now. He comes down to the Juvenile Detention Center. He is the outreach coordinator, and he's from East Cleveland.
EC, what's going on, brother Bruce Martin?
What's happening?
Adam always got to get some East Cleveland people up in the mix.
Yeah, well, you know where that true strong brotherhood come from.
I appreciate you joining us today. Adam, introduce yourself. And Adam, go ahead. First of all, let the people know who you are officially, Brother Morgan.
Well, I am who I am. I'm just Adam Morgan. I come from a descendant of Garrett Augustus Morgan. Um, I'm out here doing what I do, and I'm just here for the people.
All right, for the people who don't know who Garrett Augustus Morgan is, of course, we know one of our historic genius inventors. He's internationally known as the inventor of the early stoplight traffic light traffic signal. Of course, early version of the gas mask and a million other inventions. And also, he is the creator of the newspaper, the Cleveland Call, which merged with a paper called the Post, which became the historic Call and Post newspaper, of course, that I worked for the Call and Post for 25 years plus, maybe. But yeah, big ups to your bro, Garrett Morgan. All right, Adam. Okay, I think we have Miss Fenton. Now she's connecting the audio. I think she's getting in here all the way now. She's working it out. Sister Fenton is connecting the audio. It says she's connected, but we have her visual, and it looks like the audio is coming in. Brother Morgan, tell us about the International Men of Excellence.
Well, the International Movement was started a long time ago on the yard at Kent State University.
Kent State.
Stayed in the house with a couple members of Bethlehem Green, Nick Turner, and Elliot Montgomery, sitting around listening to the Last Poets, Public Enemy, and things of that nature. And we started to say, well, you know what? We need to stop talking about it and do something about it. So we started an organization. It was called the Men of Excellence before it was called the International Men of Excellence. Actually, it was called the Men of Excellence, aka the Brothers of Radical Change. And our advisor was Dr. Edward, the late Dr. Edward Crosby.
The great Dr. Edward Crosby.
He said, y'all should not call yourselves the Brothers of Radical Change because there's going to be some radical stuff coming at y'all.
I like that name, Adam. I'm waving the Zamunda flag for that one, but go ahead, bro.
And so, after that, everybody left college and left their college days. And I became assistant principal at Hope Academy on 55th and Broadway. And I decided to just take our efforts and make it into a nonprofit. And it was called, somebody already had the Men of Excellence. So I said, why don't we make it the International Men of Excellence? And it's time to make a change. So from then on, we've been running since 2006. Matter of fact, Kevin Hurd is the executive director of the International Men of Excellence. Matter of fact, we went down to, Atlanta, Georgia, and got an award, a certificate at least.
That is right. That's when we became official honorary citizens of the great state of Georgia with all the due respect processes, becoming of ambassadors. I tried to use my honorary citizenship to go and vote for Mayor Keisha, for Sister Stacey Abrams, which was funny, Adam, because the person that gave us that signed the award was Brian P. Kemp, who at the time was the Secretary of State, who is now the governor of Georgia, who many say hoodwinked the election, the mayoral election, from Sister Stacey Abrams. So I was trying to use my honorary citizenship to go to Georgia and vote, but they worked it out anyway. But yeah, we did. So yeah, the organization has gotten its accolades, and so tell us what the organization does, and then we're going to bring Brother Martin in, and then we're going to see if we get. I think we have Sister Fenton in. Let's see. Do we have her? Can you hear us yet? Sister Natalie Fenton.
Yes, I can. I sent you a message. Yes, I can hear everyone now.
Okay, I see that.
I don't know what was going on.
Okay, I see it, and I knew you knew how to get in because you handled the the board meetings, you get everybody in for the board meeting. So I know you had the technology.
I don't know. I'm on my phone and it's acting like it has its own brain.
Okay, now you are a little sketchy. You have you kind of in and out, but we're gonna work through it. And Adam, brother lesson, real quick. We have a Vicki Bonner, Richard Williams, Vicki Bonner, Richard Williams. They're from the other organization.
Yeah, she is the president of Reach Community Network.org.
Okay, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring them in right now, but I'm gonna tell them to hold on for a second till we handle some international men of excellence business. We're gonna bring in Sister Vicki and Brother Richard. We're getting them in. We got a full house all of a sudden. All right, there's Sister Vicki. And we have Brother Richard Williams. Hopefully he'll be coming in. He doesn't have any. Okay, there we have Brother Richard Williams. His audio is connecting. Let's okay, so we're just gonna get him. Can you hear us there, Brother Richard? All right, you're on mute, but you can hold up on mute for right now. And Sister Vicki, so we gotta give us a minute, but we're gonna rock with the International Men of Excellence for a minute. Adam, you was talking about well, let's get Sister Natalie, because Sister Natalie Fenton, you on a show with a group called the International Men of Excellence. So how does the sisters fit into this?
That's funny.
How'd you get into the International Men of Excellence?
Because I met Adam about 10 years ago. Oh, it's a little over 10 years ago now. And I wanted to be involved because I saw the positive things that he was doing, that the organization was doing. And at the time,
but you have some other, I don't know if anybody is listening to it on Facebook. But if anybody is, put that on mute and just talk to us on Zoom so we don't hear any echoes. But go ahead, Sister Natalie.
Okay, at the time I had lost my brother-in-law to gun violence. And I wanted to get involved with an organization that was fighting against that, as well as fighting for our people and getting our people in power. Adam came, I found the International Men of Excellence, and that's when I started on the board. That was back in 2010. I left the board to do some other things, my own organization, and I'm back.
Okay,
I never lost sight of the International Men of Excellence. I always kept in contact and supported me.
And you're back and you're regulating, because I get all those messages from you telling me I better get my butt to the doggone board meeting. Brother Morgan, real quick, tell us what the organization does, and then we go get Brother Bruce Martin, because he puts in that work for the group. Adam, tell us what the organization does.
Well, we were pinpointing, we're dealing with at-risk youth. We started out with just specifically African-American males, but we have reached out not for just African-American males. We're looking for African-American children as well. Right now, we're concentrating at the Juvenile Detention Center. We go down there. We've been working down there for the last 20 some odd years. And since the COVID, we just not coming back. We've been down there for the last 3 or 4 days, 3 or 4 Thursdays. And so that's when now I have to bring my man in, my main man, Mr. Bruce Martin, to get in where he fit in.
All right, Brother Martin.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
man, that's a tall task. Going into the juvenile detention centers is no small feat for one, to connect with the kids. Who are the kids that obviously have fallen through the cracks. And I know for a fact they aren't always as receptive as they need to be to adults coming in from the outside trying to tell them how to get their life together. Tell me how that works for you, what the experience is, how you able to make this happen, and how do the kids even respond to you?
Well, I'm one of them guys that's been there. So I know what they're looking for when someone coming in to speak to them. It's not always about just coming in, talking to them, and just not allowing to hear them. So my knack was to understand the problem. You got to listen to the people who has the problem, and they will guide you to help you define their outcome. And because I've been there before and they understand that, they receive us different. And it's a blessing going down there. We have brought out some good points in those little individual kids that everybody writes off and think they the lost cause. But I got faith that we can turn them around with everybody else in the community that's doing the same thing. We just got to come together and work harder to get these kids on the right track. But it's a blessing, man. It makes me feel good. And to really get those kids to open up and understand their story, you know, I have that sympathy for them and the empathy for them. So I love it.
There you go, brother Lesson. What made you even begin that? You have a couple of programs as a part of International Men of Excellence, but going down to the detention center and talking to those young brothers down there, where did that even come from? What made you add that as a part of your program?
Well, we have a program called Cultivating the Weeds. And one day I was working in the garden in East Cleveland, and I'm picking weeds, and my mentor like, Adam, leave them weeds alone. Next thing I see the police chasing a young cat. He's jumping over fences, this, that, and I'm like, it just hit me. Like, this is cultivating the weeds. We trying to cultivate the weeds that are locked up. So while they're locked up, we can cultivate them. So when they get out, they won't start. The community is the garden. And we don't want the weeds to destroy the community. So while they locked up, we can cultivate them. And that's where it came from. It just hit me. Like some things, I don't know, you have epiphany or some things just hit you in the head, and it just hit me. Next you know, I'm writing about cultivating the weeds. And I've always wanted to deal with people with outside of going to prison, because that's where most of the African kings are right now, are locked up and incarcerated. And part of me wanted to go to the prison without going to prison to teach them young cats. I mean, not just the young cats, but the older ones as well. This is not what the Creator put you at to be locked up and confined, not voluntarily anyway. So that's where that comes from.
How easy was that process when you contacted the detention center and the juvenile detention center, and you say, hey, we want to, bring some brothers in here to talk to these kids? Were they saying, oh my God, thank you? Or were they saying, okay, well, who the hell are y'all? And what you going to be talking about? How were you received initially with this idea? Because this has been going on for a few years now, but how was it initially received by the system?
Well, I was put on by a young Ken Ferguson, Justin Ferguson, and Johnny Dent. And they've seen what I was thinking about. They were like, Adam, we down at Juvenile Detention Center, why don't you come on? So they didn't want to let me in. And so once we got in there, they were like, well, Mr. Morgan, we have a lot of organizations to come down here. What's more different? What makes your organization different? And I said, we keep it 100. We're about saving lives. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, we'll see.
Okay, Sister Natalie, if you can unmute real quick. Hopefully can you hear me and unmute your mic, Sister Natalie Fitton? Can you unmute? Okay, while you're working on that, let me ask Brother Martin a question. Can you tell? Hold on, see, now you got dogs barking. Let me holler at my dog real quick. All right. We're unmuted. But can you tell if you are making a difference? Like, have you seen lives changed, or are these kids like, man, ain't nobody listening to y'all? Uh, how can you tell when you started reaching somebody? Do they come to you personally and say, hey, brother, I really appreciate the words you've given me, or it's something that you see? How do you know that it's working?
Well, in speaking to them, and when they come up to you at the end of the meeting and express how they feel, is one of the ways that we found that we were working. And the juvenile center had them do surveys in regards of every group that come in, and we were told we were the requested one come in because, like Adam said, we kept it 100. And I've been there before. I've been incarcerated before. I spent 4.5 years in there. And as on the adult side, I created, helped created a group like this inside of that so we can figure out how to not to return back. And as we've seen over the years that the juveniles out here was creating all this havoc, it made me really wanted to react. And when I see them, like last week, we had them write in their journals. We got them journal writing. And for them to take that time out and respect us and wrote in them journals and then come up to us and say, hey, check this out, listen to this. It's like we really touching these guys because you got these tough guys out here in the street, but now they in there, now they want to be human beings. And when they write what they feel in those books, it's rewarding that you're getting to them, that you can actually get them to sit down and write.
Okay, now, and I did want to bring up the fact that, like, Adam brought up earlier, he was talking about a book that he saw on my bookshelf. Our sister Charlize Lyles. What are the programs that you have the kids doing? What, when you go there, do you just talk? Is it just you guys talking? We know that Brother Martin just said that they do journaling, which is excellent, man. To get any black people, especially brothers, journaling and talking about sharing information or what they're thinking or what they're feeling, because we don't really get down like that. We're not really wired uh like that, and that's something that I suggest that all of us take part in. But other than journaling, what other things do you have the kids doing other than just talking to them?
We do group sessions. We have them all sitting in a circle, and we just actually conversate. My main goal is not to just always go down and preach to them kids. It's allow them kids to talk and release whatever they need to get off their chest so we can understand who they is. And that becomes real successful because now they get the confidence to be able to communicate with one another and then communicating with people outside. So the conversation of my biggest goal is communication with them. I can't just always go down there and speak to them. I want them to speak to me. Be able to have that confidence to learn how to talk to others when they got situations. And it's not a lot that we can do, but now that we coming into more contact with people, we deal with the ones that coming home more sooner than later, that we trying to get them to learn how to do applications, job applications, get reentry back in school. It's just a lot we trying to do to them, trying to get them to read more and everything. So it's all working back in the right direction since the pandemic that we're going to see a lot of success, and we're monitoring that success now more than we did before.
Okay, and again, and I appreciate you coming through, bro. Now we got Sister Fenton unmiked. um from a women's perspective, and we're gonna let Brother Martin, we're gonna wrap up with the International Men of Excellence in a minute so we can get to Sister Vicki and my brother Richard Williams in the building. Man, the noob's all up in here today. But Sister Natalie, uh, talk about, from your perspective, what these brothers are doing. How important is this, that, from your eyes, to see these brothers going in there talking to our young boys. Talk to me about it from your perspective.
First of all, it's extremely important because I'm a firm believer that men have to advocate and motivate our young men, our young males, and women have to do the same for our young females. Okay. They are seeing that these young men, these young boys are seeing that these men are caring about them. Somebody cares about them. And that's what's wrong with most of our youth today. They do not believe that anyone cares about them. They do not believe that anyone wants to hear them. And that's what they need. They need that in order to continue to, in their journey to adulthood. No one has listened to them. Now, International Men of Excellence is listening to them. They're listening to them and they're guiding and directing them in the right manner. And we'll do the same thing for the girls. We're going to do the same thing for the girls because I have a female youth program that we're going to do down there through the International Men of Excellence.
So the queens, we're not leaving out the young queens. So we're getting the kings and the queens.
No, about the young queens. We cannot do that. We would not be a society if we did that.
Okay.
It all goes together.
Brother Morgan, I know. I'm gonna ask Brother Martin another question because I know he has other things to do, and we're gonna because I put out a call. We had a cancellation. I put out a call. Said anybody want to come in and fill in on the show today? Brother Morgan was right there, and we know all the good work he does with the Max Scholars in the school system. So we can, we may have to bring him back to talk about that at another date. But he said, yeah, he called up Brother Martin, he called up Sister Natalie. Then he called me back and said, hey, it's all about collaboration, Chill. I have another group that we work with. Can I bring them on? And he started telling me about it. And, I know two of those brothers. And so I said, okay, well, let's get all this information in. Everybody's doing good work. And you're right, it's all about collaboration. But before I let you go, Brother Martin, I think we're going to keep Brother Lesson with us. But Sister Natalie and Brother Bruce can go about the rest of their good works. But Brother Martin, while I still have you here, I want people to know that a lot of these kids that you go and talk to, it's not like all these kids are in there because they cut class, or I mean, we've seen some kids that you guys have dealt with that we've seen in the news, serious hardcore crimes. And you've talked to some of these kids, especially a lot of them connected to gang activities. How do you deal with those kids who have committed or in for hardcore crimes in our neighborhoods, and who are gang affiliated and probably deal with some type of gang affiliation even while they're locked up? Is there do you have to talk to them differently, or do they react to you the same way?
No, I don't talk to them different. I lived amongst them for 4.5 years, the same type of people. And they feel and bleed the same way I do. And it's all about, communicating. And it's just, I guess, something in me that they see that I'm serious, that I don't come down there to be joking around or waste my time. Like we had an incident last week with a young kid, like I told him, dude, it'll always be the smallest one who wants to be the toughest one. But you too small. When you go down 71, I'm going to keep it real to you. You need to do some push-ups or you're going to come someone next girlfriend. And the dude looked at me, then he's like, and then he started interacting. So it just comes straight to him and just like, hey, man, this ain't no joke. Where you heading to? I've been there. If you want to continue acting like a fool or do crazy stuff, be my guest, my man, because in the long run, you're going to hear my voice in the back of your head saying, man, dude, try to tell me, get my act together. So it's no different. You just talk to them straight up, and they appreciate that.
Right. I mean, as you were saying, a lot of those kids uh are headed upstate when they become of age. It's not like they're going to leave there and go back home to their mothers and fathers. They, a lot of them have some real time ahead of them, and they'll be transitioning from a juvenile detention center to adult penitentiaries. uh in the process of that transition, you give them those words. Is that something that they think about from your perspective while they're there?
Yeah, they thinking about it. A lot of times we found out they don't have a clue about their case. They haven't even spoke with a lawyer on a regular basis to understand their situation. And they mostly will ask you, how it is. Like I tell them, it's not about a physical fight when you down 71. It's a mental game you got to play. And that mental got to be real strong for you to survive 5, 10, 15, 20 years. If you don't have your mental capacity together, you may get lost down there. So basically, it's just trying to get them prepared because I know they're not coming home. And I try to talk to each individual different when I can understand where they're going. And I take it from there.
Okay, man, that's and I know Brother Morgan oftentimes have been asked to even go into the court sometimes and either speak to the family or speak to the judge. um Adam, before we let Brother Martin and Sister Natalie go, how often do you have to, advocate for these youth, uh, other than just going down to talk to them while they're incarcerated? What other type of advocation programs do you guys do?
Well, um, it's been a couple times I had to go down there personally and talk to the judge or the magistrate on behalf of these young people. The thing is, we want to let these young people know we ain't playing. I'm not just coming down there just because you've been part of this organization. You got to put in something to get something, and that's what we do. We have another program where they write us on a regular basis, and you should see the stories that they tell us. That's part of why I go down there, because I hear I hear them. I hear their voices. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes I can't sleep because I hear them talking to me. Like, we need some help. And that's how I go down there to advocate for them, but they need to understand this ain't no game.
Serious matter. I appreciate, hey, Brother Martin and Sister Natalie, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us and representing the International Men of Excellence. I'm not gonna make you stay with us the whole 2 hours, but I
thank you
appreciate you guys,
thank you for having me.
and I look forward to getting with you guys at the next meeting and the next time that I'm called forth to do something.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
All right.
Thank you for having
sir.
me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
sister. Now, Brother Morgan, you asked to be able to share your time. Tell us about the organization that you also shouted out and to give an invite to a collab. Tell us about the organization, and then we'll bring them in to give us a shout out. And what connection do you have with them?
Well, I have a great connection with Mr. Williams. He's a part of our great fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yo.
And every time I used to see Mr. Williams in the library or just on the street, he always had some. He was on a mission, and I was on the mission too. But we were just on the mission. And once he said he had this nonprofit, I said it's time for make that mission to come fruition. So that's how we got here where we at today. We got Mr. Richard Williams, the founder of Reach Community Network, and then he found Ms. Bonner, who's a graduate from Kent State University.
Kent State, stand up.
Yes, yes, we in the building today with some love.
All right, brother, go ahead. Brother Richard Williams, brother Williams, go ahead and unmute yourself. Talk to me, King.
What's good? What's good?
What's happening, bro? Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people of Chill Talk.
All right. Well, my name is Richard Williams. I'm the founder of Reach Community Network. We're a nonprofit organization based right here in Cleveland, Ohio. We still a baby, you know, we brand new, but you know, we trying to make some things happen here in Cleveland. Reason why I started it because I'm from Cleveland and I love everything about Cleveland. Everything Cleveland is me.
Big up.
I've lived other places, but it's no place like the land. And you know, growing up here, I understand some of the challenges our community faces. I've lived on all sides of Cleveland, 105, 93rd, everywhere but the west side. I've all over the east side. I'm all over Harvard, you name it. So, you know, I just understand what's really going on around here, and you know, I want to make a change. And being a part of Kappa Alpha Psi, my older brothers, you know, y'all guys taught me about achievement. You guys taught me about, you know, brotherhood, about community, about, you know, doing what's right. So with those things instilled in me, you know, I just want to do what I can to make a change. So that's why I formed this organization.
All right, now tell us before we bring the queen in here. Now tell us exactly, if you can go into exactly what the goals are of the organization and what's the purpose of what you all do.
Well, our mission is to basically serve those most in need in the greater Cleveland area. Our four pillars are education, economic empowerment, mentoring, health awareness, and yeah, those are basically it. So, you know, we want to basically you know, educate, help people become economically empowered by knowing about investing, knowing about, you know, how the you know, credit, things of those natures, health awareness, dealing with mentally ill, dealing with, you know, those specific things. So, you know, because I feel like we lack in those areas where people, you know, education is not a priority. You know,
Right.
everybody want to do this and do that, but it's cool to be smart. You know what I'm saying? You know, some, you know, people don't want to understand eating healthy. You know, it's cool, you know, and people don't understand about, you know, the mentally ill, um, those issues where, like you said, we're not built to talk about our problems and those things. You know, we want to have people express themselves more, understand, you know, some of the things that may have affected them as they were young, as they're growing up, some things that maybe they need to express that can help them become better people.
Hey brother, I really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I'm glad this, because I know we've been able to chop it up a couple of times, but I'm glad to see you out here making this happen. Now let's bring in Sister Vicki. Sister Vicki, if you can unmute your mic. How did they get you into this with these fellas? And introduce yourself.
Absolutely. First, before I jump in, I would just want to thank Adam for extending an opportunity to share the platform so that we could broaden the reach for Reach Community Network with an audience to understand why we're wanting to do the things we want to do in Cleveland. I do serve as the president of Reach Community Network. Richard and I actually go way back. I'm from Cleveland as well, John Marshall High School, East Side area in terms of where I was raised. And a lot of our initiatives really touch home for us when we think about those who poured into us coming up in the city and wanting to be able to be in a place of giving back. And so when I heard about the opportunity, it just fit in terms of a way that we can serve. And what we want to be able to do is to make a difference and touch all 4 of our pillars, because I think for the community to be better, we can't just tackle it from one angle. And we love the opportunity of collaboration. So when Adam threw this opportunity out to us, we had to jump on it. And so that's how we're here tonight.
Okay, and I meant to ask Adam this, but between Vicki and Richard, tell people how do they contact you? How do they reach out to you to take advantage of some of the information that you guys have to share, or to participate in helping out your endeavors?
Well, they can reach me at my email address, which is lesson1911@gmail.com.
All right, say that one more time.
Lesson, LESSON 1911@gmail.com.
Okay, and that's the easiest way to contact the International Men of Excellence.
Okay, you can just call me personally, 234-863-1971.
Oh, you just giving out the digits now. Now, if you get a bunch of crazy people calling you, or somebody you owe some money to, don't get don't get mad. Man, I've been trying to find you, Adam, and y'all got your phone number. No, but you try to stay on the straight and narrow, brother. So I don't think you will have that problem. But all right, and we'll try to get it put into the chat too as we continue with the show. So, all right, guys, how do they contact you about your organization?
Yeah, so we do have our website, reachcommunitynetwork.org. We're also present on Facebook, so you can find us there, Reach Community Network, and that'll give you all of our email and phone number information to reach any member of the team.
All right, excellent. So now tell me, now you talked about the various pillars that the organization does. Do you get grants? Are you spending your own money? Do people donate to you? Are you just doing it for the love? How does this work? How do all these great things take place?
Yes, the life and hustle of a nonprofit. So that's when all things funding avenues are relevant. So on our website, we do have the opportunity for folks to read about our initiatives and donate if that's where their heart desires. We just came off of a great fundraising effort about 2 weeks ago, where the community showed us a lot of love, and we were able to raise over $7,000 in the 4-day period. So we're going to always be grateful, because that serves as seed money for us to be able to pour into the 4 pillars that Richard already communicated. In addition to that, we're always seeking grants, and that's a process in itself. So we are not short on always trying to find the avenue to find funds to help broaden our reach for the most in need.
All right, but I mean, as most of us know who are involved in nonprofits, you know, a lot of this is for the love, and we try to do these things to help, you know, help the people, help the community, especially when it comes to, you know, the various pillars that we serve. So Richard, talk to me about these things that you do, and how you actually get them done, and who helps you out, and what the result of it is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, well, basically what we do is I have a board of directors, which consists of Vicki Bonner, Edward Blue, and also Natalie Buckley. Edward Blue is my vice president. He's a Noop as well.
Blue.
Yeah, and Natalie is our director of community outreach. So what we do is it's just collective minds. We just come together. We try to do things, you know, based under our 4 pillars. Just basically, like I said, it's just a collective mind agreement, and we put it together, and we just try to move forward and go with it and get as much support as we possibly can.
What is the most recent thing that you guys have done?
Well, we just did the fundraiser, which Vicki just stated, which we raised over $7,000. Also, before that, we had a virtual cooking event that basically was for healthy eating with Chef Eric Wells.
Chef Wells, that's my guy.
Yeah, which we were able to feed over 300 families based on the money we raised. We also did a show love event, which basically highlighted someone in the greater Cleveland area, which somebody wanted to show love to, which, for what they do, whether it was an organization, whether it was a young child, so we've been just doing a few things here and there. Like I said, we basically knew, so we're just trying to get it rolling, get the train rolling, but it's going and it's been pretty successful. Also, I attended the juvenile detention center with Adam, so went down there to speak to some young men. So that was a success, and I seen what they're doing. So like I said, we just brand new, but we moving and grooving and just trying to get everything up and running.
Well, you know what? I don't want you to zoom past the fact that you just got through saying that you fed 300 people.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing. And for the people who a lot of people who watched, it made me think about the Judas and the Black Messiah, the movie about the Chicago Black Panthers and Fred Hampton. But even their larger component nationwide, the Panthers, I mean, people know them for more controversial things, but at the heart of their organization is they had a breakfast program, a free breakfast program. And I guess the part of what they were saying is, you can't teach kids to, kids can't go to school and learn if they can't even eat. uh Families can't function if they're out here hungry. So you guys feeding three, man, that's a meal that they didn't have to worry about that day, that they didn't have to go out and spend money for, or the mothers didn't have to take time out from what other things she's having to do to raise families, or fathers having to do. That's a meal that they have that day. And if you can feed them, you can reach them. So how did that go? Were people happy to get the food, or were they just throwing the tomatoes on the ground saying, we don't want this? But no, how did that, man, that had to be a beautiful thing, but how did that work out?
It went well. That's funny that you said that because I actually watched that movie the other night. I seen it before, but I just rewatched it again. But it went well. I mean, we donated to the food bank. They let us know, our proceeds fed those families. People reached out to us to let us know how grateful they were, and yeah, it went well. I was overwhelmed at how it turned out.
Mhm. Actually, Sister Vicky, what's your thoughts on feeding the multitudes?
I think it addresses food insecurity in a lot of ways. And that's just one way we were able to show our love and support for Cleveland, for those who were most in need in that area. But the topic of food insecurity, that's something that runs deep. It's not new, but it is something that we must continue to address. And I think about how can we continue to be more impactful beyond maybe just holiday season, because it's something that's ever present. And in these times with COVID, we're really trying to figure out ways to still give with limitations of being able to bring people in places and be safe. So although it's challenging, I think it was a way that we could achieve that goal, but it's just the beginning. As
Okay.
Richard said, we're new to this. We're facing since March, but we're fired and ready to go with lots of ideas.
All right, and you brought up something I want to go deeper in, even with Brother Adam, about operating a nonprofit that provides services and advocates and does outreach during a pandemic. But before I do that, let me tell everyone who's watching the show right now, please share the show if you haven't shared it already. And we will be uploading the show after this to the Kevin Chillhurt YouTube channel. Also, you see pinned in the chat, most people at this point knows that this is our 56th show in quarantine. It's been a year plus since we haven't been at the radio station at Radio One, which is the home of this show. And we have not been there, as which also means that we haven't been there to run our regular commercials. So if anyone wants to donate anything to the Chill Talk platform, you can cash app us at $money to chill, the number two, $money to chill. It's pinned in the chat, so we can continue bringing you all this information, and I keep everybody updated on when it looks like we can safely return up to the radio station, to where people have grown used to seeing us. But I'm really starting to like doing this from my library. Uh, but and that made me that's what made me think of COVID. Other than anybody wants to donate to Chill Talk, but how are you guys? What and Adam, you can jump in this too. How does that hamper how you guys normally work, and what protocols? Adam, you guys are going to juvenile detention centers, and it's no secret that the prison systems are a place that this virus has been known to spread. How do you guys, did that hamper your efforts at first, Adam? And how did you overcome that? Because I know that we're in there now, but I know at first that was not the case. So how did that work out?
Well, when we first going there after the pandemic, they stopped everything. They shut everything down. And I was trying to worry about how we're going to get back in there to help these young people. Because like you said, in the pandemic, it was really a pandemic in the prison system, in the juvenile detention center. And I was still worried about how we can help these young people. But, you know, it doesn't really bother me, going down there. I got my shots, and I advise everybody, who shot you? Pfizer shot me. So I advise everybody get their shots, but it doesn't bother me now to go down there and talk to these young people, because it's just what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, well, you know me, so I'm still obligated to tell everybody, even though you have your shots, you can still contract the virus. You can still spread the virus. So still try to participate in all protocols of social distancing, hand washing, things of that nature. Because we have the shot, doesn't make us invincible. But I'm glad you got the shot, bruh. I'm not even gonna go there with you about you taking the shot, but I'm glad you got it. But yeah, so I mean, when you couldn't go down there at all, Adam, I know during meetings it was talked about doing virtual. Did that happen, or you just kind of waited it out till you were able to actually go back in?
We just waited out until we actually got back in.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And has that hampered any of the other programs that you guys had been planning to do, or that you are planning to do? Because I know we're involved in gardening, and you have the book club. Um, have you figured out other ways to deal with a lot of the things that your organization does during this pandemic?
The work is still in progress, brother. We still trying to work it out.
I understand, my brother. I understand. So, Vicki, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Uh, I'm sure when you guys started this, you didn't plan to have to operate under a global pandemic. Um, how did that affect kind of what you do? Even how we meet, it has affected us. This is how we mostly do it now. But tell me about how operating or working within the confines of a nonprofit organization during a global pandemic.
Yeah, I would say it definitely had us in a position of trying to be innovative and still reach those that we wanted to serve. So we had to adjust to try to use technology to help us do that as best possible. So in platforms such as this with Zoom, We were able to do the virtual cooking experience with Chef Wells virtually. So that was a great partnership for us. The power of social media when we were driving the fundraiser or trying to get the word out about our Show Love event. So we've had to adjust to still be present as opposed to just saying, there's nothing that we can do. But in the root of it all, because we want to serve, we have a desire to be physically in front of people and bring people out. And so as soon as we're able to do that safely, we are also looking at being able to offer our programs hybrid so that we can do a bit of both when it allows us to from a safe perspective.
Okay, you know what? I'm just being able to get on and see the chat. Thousands of people, but I'm just saying that we had our brother Eni Aret Shan Kalfani, member of the Masi Clan Warriors, the Kofi Pi Psi research team. Big ups. We see him doing science with Sean, giving that information. I just actually shared something that information he was given today. And if you haven't seen Science with Sean, please, I believe it's on the Masi Warrior channel. Man, he breaking information, talking about misinformation, correcting bad information, talking to people who are hesitant, giving information. I watch that all the time to stay up on my game because information changes so often. And Sean is now a shortcut because he's going in every day almost. Anytime something new breaks out about the pandemic, about the vaccine, about a rumor, misinformation, disinformation, that brother Sean is on it. And we're going to have to get him in here, especially because they have the new book, the Spears of the... Man, first of all, Sean, okay, this is volume 2. From Spears to Pen, Masi Warrior presents a historical survey of the minds of African warrior scholars, volume 2 from the Kofi Pi Psi research team. And now I just want you to know they have volume 3, which is out now, of which I wrote the foreword to volume 3. But the reason I don't have it right here, because I think somebody got me for my book. I'm gonna have to track that book down. I didn't even get a chance to start reading it yet. I read my foreword that I wrote in it, and then the next thing I know, it got ghost. So we're gonna have to get to the bottom of that one, but we're gonna get the Kofi Pi Psi research team on here. Also, shout out to my brother Kadeem Stewart, sister Nusha, and she actually has a question. My mom is watching the show. Denise Likes is watching the show. Adam, sister Nusha wants to know, how can we help our local prison systems? Because obviously, ChillTalk is an international show, so everybody's not just from the land. Certainly we are Cleveland centric, but we have people watching the show from all over, and we have people overseas in different countries watching the show. But Sister Nusha wants to know, how I mean, you guys are here in the land working with the youth. What suggestions do you have for people to be able to do some of the things that you guys are doing successfully in prison systems and detention centers in other cities, other states?
For me, I think it's all about resources.
Okay.
People don't have the resources that's needed to make things happen. The old saying, knowledge is power. And I think the more you know, the more you'll be able to accomplish and help other people. So for me, I think it's the lack of resource.
Okay. Now, Brother Morgan, I mean, I know, this wasn't something that you were invited into the prison system to talk to the youth by two brothers, brother Justin Ferguson, my little brother, and our brother Johnny Dent, local author, one of the dopest books to come out of Cleveland. What's the name of Johnny Dent's book?
Sugar Boy.
Sugar Boy. Johnny Dent fought the system, literally. Johnny Dent, you hear stories about brothers fighting the police. Johnny Dent literally fought the police, and it did a little time. But I know he brought you in, but you guys took it extra steps to make this part of your program. So Adam, just when it became part of the program of the International Men of Excellence to kind of help out and talk to give Sister Nusha some type of information, who did you talk to? Because I know going to the system is a system. So was it hard? Did you have to talk to 1,000 people? Was it some red tape that you had to deal with? How were you able just to walk in to the system and start talking to incarcerated brothers?
Well, like you said, I was invited into this, and that's how I got involved. Once I got in there, I started reading more books like The New Negro. Is that The New Negro by Michelle? It talks about being incarcerated, the new incarceration rate and stuff like that. And I started reading more. And I don't know, to be quite honest, I can't put a finger on it. I just got in there and I had to do what I had to do.
You just rolled up your sleeves and made the necessary phone calls and say, we'll be here next week. Well, let me ask you this, Adam. When you first started coming in as the organization, and then you started continuing to come back, were you not? Of course, I'm not talking about the kids, but the people from the system. Did they welcome you to say, oh my God, I'm glad that you were here? Or did they say, did they really not want you coming in here talking to the kids?
I'm glad you asked that question, because
I'm glad you prepared to answer.
At first, they were like, well, who are these people? People come in all the time saying they're going to do this, do that. But consistency is the key. We kept coming back. We kept coming back. We kept coming back. And soon later, we had some problems with some people every now and then. I mean, who are these cats coming in thinking they're going to change these young people's lives? But we kept coming back. We kept coming back. And after the pandemic, when we started coming back in there, a lot of the CEOs and the people who were there when we first got there, they're no longer there.
Wow.
But some people who are steadfast was like, I'm glad y'all back, so we need y'all.
Okay. And I do want you to talk about this when you attempt to go into the prison systems. One thing you need to make sure that you yourself
don't have a record.
Do not have papers.
Because you may never get out yourself.
You might get in, but you might not get back out. But and we've been through this, and it's no secret that when the organization goes in, they have to do a background check. So I'll let anybody know, you can want to go in and talk to the incarcerates, talk to the kids, or talk to the men, but make sure, especially if you bring in other people in as part of your group, make sure they can actually get in, because Adam can tell you, we've had a couple of times where some of our people didn't pass the background test, and Adam got the call back saying, okay, we ran the list, and 3 of these people cannot come up in here.
Yeah, we've had that. So there's always some issues dealing with the system, but I believe in the Creator. The Creator wants people to be there, who's there, meant to be there. And sometimes even with felonies, I bring a lot of people who have felonies in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, my thing is, if you about what's the word I'm looking for? Helping people out when they done wrong, then give them a chance to come back and teach the young people who are doing wrong now. But sometimes the system is set up for us not to achieve. The system is set up to us to fail.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm glad you're doing what you do.
They have to fight against the system.
Well, let me ask you this, Adam. So, and because you've had to directly deal with this, So if you've had a felony, can you still go? Because obviously, well, I know that's the case because I know some brothers who had felonies that rolled with us, and they've been able to come in and talk to the kids, while others haven't. So what are some of the, first of all, let's establish the fact people who have felony on their records have been able to go in with us to talk to the inmates. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. But some people who have other things on their record sometimes have not been allowed to go in.
No, they can only come in once at like one time, and that's it. They're done.
They can is it something you want to, what would prohibit? I mean, I don't know if this information, but people want to know, Adam, because they might want to, to be able to do this where they're from. What brother Sean is in there talking about Nusha has a felony warrant. If you got a warrant, you don't want to, you don't want to,
not to.
But what prohibits people from from not passing the background test if it's not felonies? What prohibits them from being able to come in?
Well, I'd rather them email me. We'll talk about that at another day.
Okay, all right, we doing it like that. All right, brother Sean is in the building. Let me get back to see what brother brother Sean is in here clowning, talking about she missed her court date. Man, see how you act in here acting, Sean. We'll let you out here in the chat with the other 1,000 plus people in the chat checking us out. Sean's over in Nashville. Where's Sister Nusha at? Where's where's her? Shout us out. Where's your location? Or you just gonna let Sean answer for you because Sean is causing some commotion. My BFF LaDosha Wright is in the building, and of course she's not only she's a big supporter of Chill Talk, but she's a supporter of the International Men of Excellence, and she's a supporter of Adam's Max Scholars Program. Since we have you here, Adam, I know we're not talking about Max Scholars, but real quick, man, you do great work with the Max Scholars. Let the people know what that is as well.
It's called the Minority Achievement Committee, and what we do is try to help the young, not just young men, but young women achieve the academic gap between their Caucasian counterparts. We bring in speakers and things of that nature so we can even the level field with these young people and their Caucasian counterparts.
Okay. And Sister Nusha is from Houston. She's from H-Town. All right. But yeah, and as far as your work with the Max Scholars, man, I've seen you do amazing things with these young brothers. You working with these brothers. How old are these kids?
These children are they're third and fourth graders. So
how old are you in the third and fourth grade?
About 7 or 8.
Hey man, these are some of the most intelligent young brothers that I have ever seen. When I first came there and they said, "Oh, Chill, you're gonna be talking to some third graders." I'm like, can they even read? Like third graders? What are they? Do they take classes or they, just have naps all day? But yo, Adam has those young brothers on point, man. Those brothers are scholars. So big ups to him and our Chill Talk producer, Felicia Haney, the super producer. I believe she came and she spoke with the young men the other week.
She closed the school year out.
How did she do?
She did a fantastic job.
All right, big ups to the,
because she's a super producer. I'm saying that 100 with these young cats, and they enjoyed her.
All right, big ups to the producer of Chill Talk who is not able to be here with us today.
And they want their prizes too.
She says she has the prizes, but yeah, she's finishing up Ramadan, observance of Ramadan, so she's not with us here today. But yeah, I was glad that Felicia, the producer of Chill Talk, was able to get over to talk to those young kings and work it out. And I've been there. I've participated. I think I was there for graduation day.
Yes, sir.
And I brought books. I read from books. I kicked knowledge. I gave like 3,000 years of information, and I dropped rhymes, and I had bars. Just I had to pull out all the stops. But yeah, so
It's
no,
just like
big
it's like not to cut you off. It's like today when you said, Adam, you want to come on the show? I'm like, I don't know, but I always talk. You want to drop some bars, no matter where you at. You gotta drop them bars.
you gotta be able to
Yeah,
drop
you
bars. If called
right.
upon, you have to serve. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, brother Richard? All right. Well, I appreciate that. Let me check the chat.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Check the chat. Man, Sean, don't man, let me get Sean. Sean is in there clowning. See, just because Sean had a good day today on he had to deal with some shenanigans on his page today. So he on my page acting up. But again, while I have the people here, if you want to donate to Chill Talk, you see the Cash App on there, $money to Chill is pinned in there. I think we talking about going back to the radio station sometime soon. So I will give you the updates on what's going on our return to Radio One. We might have a party, but I'm coming in disinfecting. You know, you come into a radio station, you sharing microphones with people, you know, who've been there all day long, talking in the mics, man. I got to keep it Gucci for real. LaDosha said, man, I'm trying to save our industry. These fools. She dropping LaDosha in there going political. She's talking about the Republicans are trying to deregulate the Ohio beauty and barber industry. Dosh, we know that's your passion about educating the beauty industry. We got to get you back on here soon, even though people swear you always have your BFF LaDosha on. That's because she putting in work on all different fronts. And she ain't here talking about the same thing every time. She always got something hot going on. Good information for the people. So that's what's up. Don't hate. Participate with what Sister LaDosha is doing. So, brother Richard. Now we talked about, you know, we have a brother who's not with us here in the interview, brother Blue. What does Blue do, and what does he bring to the organization?
Oh man, that's my main man right there. That's my right hand. That's my saying, Spring '94 Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
Yep,
He was
yep.
he was the ace. So you know everything came through him. But he is the vice president. Blue's skill set, basically, I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? He people love him. You know, he's very educated. He's well versed in the economic empowerment aspect of one of our pillars. He talks about investing. He's into real estate, those type of things. So, and he just, you know, being born and raised here as well, he loves the community. He loves the land. So yeah, that's my right hand though, right there. That's my dude.
Hey, it's just dawning on me, Richard. Wasn't me and you at the bar talking about you asking me about how to start a nonprofit?
Absolutely.
I'm just thinking about that when I posted that I had started my
I got photos with you with my phone. Yeah, yeah.
I just thought about that. We
Yeah.
had just finished doing Chill Talk. When we would do Chill Talk at the radio station, we would come to Rudy's. It would be karaoke night. Me and Felicia would come to Rudy's after we finished Chill Talk, and everybody know that that's where we would come after the show. And sometimes people would come there and meet us and kick it. And we were talking about. He was like, "Yo, Chill, I saw that you posted that you had started a nonprofit." Because I posted pictures with my lawyer. Shout out to my lawyer, Mimi Forbes.
Mimi Forbes, yeah, that's my girl too. Yeah.
And so okay, so yeah, so we were talking about it. So is this the organization that you started from that conversation?
Absolutely.
Wow. Man, I got to give myself a Zamunda flag up over there. All right, that's what we're talking about. So what's next what's the next a big important thing that you guys will be doing?
Well, we're trying to get together a virtual talent show for the children, which will, you know, do singing, virtual, singing, dancing, spoken word. Then we also have where we're going to do an adopt a school program. So we're going to pick a few schools in the greater Cleveland area, adopt a school, and try to, work with them to do certain programs and, give back to school things, books, you know, uh, book bags, utensils, and everything that a student needs to go to school. So those are the next two things we got going on right now. We're going to do the adopt a school program as well as the virtual talent show.
That's a beautiful thing. I also want to shout out to my big brother Stephen Boyd, is watching us right now. Everybody in the land, if they don't know him, they know of him. He's the leader of the crew Hugh People. This brother been putting in work in the city. For a long, long time. He's not a native Clevelander, but he's been here longer than a whole bunch of other people. So he's definitely a Clevelander. And so that's one of my tribal elders, big brother Stephen Boyd. But a lot of people know him from the Hugh People, Hugh People. So we're gonna have to get him on the show, and he's been up to the show. He brought some when we were actually at the studio. Brother Stephen Boyd brought these brothers from the motherland, from the continent, and they came up in the studio and was going in. I believe we you know what, I believe that may be archived in a all the studio in the radio station stuff is archived on the Chill Talk page. So you can go back to the Chill Talk videos and look for the Hugh People. Brother Boyd, what was the name of that group? It was an African name. It was a name from the continent. If you can hit it in the chat, then people will be able to go back and find those brothers from the motherland that you brought down to the station, because it will be probably archived under that name in on the Chill Talk radio page. So Steve, if you're watching, you want to go back and watch that, man. You want to go back and watch a lot of the shows that we did at the station. Adam, I'm going to ask you what's next for International Men of Excellence. We know you continue to go back down to the justice, but what's next for the organization? Anything else planned?
Not right at this juncture. We pretty much putting all eggs in one basket right now because the detention center is a lot to handle. So that's the only thing we're really dealing with right now at this juncture.
Right, and I do want to ask that we get back to the reading program that you established, because you shouted out one of the books behind me, Charlize Lyles' "Do I Dare Disturb the Universe," from projects to prep school. I mean, especially anybody, I suggest anybody read it, but especially people from Cleveland. It's a Cleveland-based story on how she grew up in the King Kennedy projects and became a prep school scholar. But one of those roles that grew from concrete type stories. So, and she's an expert on education at this point. So yeah, Sister Charlize Lyles. But yeah, Brother Adam, man, please, let's big up that reading program. And again, for the people that are watching it weren't watching at the very beginning when I introduced Adam Lesson Morgan. He is a relative of the late great genius inventor Garrett Morgan, and Adam's hot during Black History Month.
Hot.
He's hot. He's hot. He's out speaking all over the place. If he don't get speaking engagements no other time, he gets speaking engagements during Black. I remember Sister called me up and big ups to his cousin Sandra Morgan, who is the granddaughter of Garrett Morgan, And they said, man, can we get Sandra Morgan? I'm like, well, you know, it's a late date. You kind of, I said, but I got another Morgan. And they said, is he related to Garrett Morgan? I said, yes, he is. And he light skinned like Garrett Morgan. But
You got to bring that into it.
I'm just playing with your brother, but you know Garrett Morgan was light skinned brother. But we come in all colors, all shades, from light bright, almost white to blue, black. We all in there, and so it's love for all of us. But yeah, so no, Adam goes, and man, to see him talk, because I don't know why he acting all shy on here today. Because when he goes in there to talk to those kids, man, and I give it to you, Adam. You totally rock talking to those kids. I don't know why you're acting all shy on here today, but maybe you had a hard day at work today. But I don't know what that's about. But yeah, before we close out, let me see anybody else out here. No other comments in there. Sean, let's get the Kofi Pie Side research team hooked up and get them back on for a special show. You know, those my brothers, and you know they putting out work. They putting out work. They put out work. They're international. They've put out books. They put out information over in the Gambia, and doing lots of work, not just locally but internationally and on the continent. So big ups to those brothers, especially, man. Follow that brother on the Mossy Warrior channel just to keep updated on his science with Sean. Man, invaluable. Uh, but Sister Bonner, go ahead, and before we close out, you don't have anything to say to the people on behalf of your organization?
First, I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on this platform to kind of share our mission, purpose, and goals. I hope that people are encouraged to just follow along with us on Facebook, Reach Community Network, or hit us up on our website, reachcommunitynetwork.org. And also, before I end my time, because I'm on here with a lot of Kappas, so I got to represent Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So I'm gonna go ahead and shout out to Norfolk Alumni Chapter, as well as the chapter that made me, Akron Alumni Chapter. So thank you for letting me be here.
All right, all right. Everybody getting their gang affiliations out there. They're Illuminati organization. All right, brother Richard, talk to me, King.
I'd like to thank y'all for inviting me. Adam, you know, you already know what it is, bruh. Chill, you know what it is as well. Man, this is a blessing, you know, and I always wanted to align myself with people who was doing big things, major things. That's why I joined this organization, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And I want to really thank y'all, man. I really, really do.
Hey, Richard. Hey, bro. First of all, I feel honored that our conversation that day at Rudy's, after I finished doing Chill Talk, and came down and built with you, and we talked about starting a nonprofit, and to know that, I mean, because a lot of people, you know, have lip service, and they talk of pause, they talk about coming in and what they want to do when they want to start an organization, and you know, you take time to kind of give them some pointers, and you know, they don't do nothing. But no, to know that you took that information that day, and you made this happen, and man, y'all out here already, you know, feeding hundreds of people, uh, doing all kinds of fundraisers and making things happening for the community. Oh man, big ups to you, bro. Hey,
I
thank
appreciate that. I told you it was real, though. I told you would see me again.
yeah, and you told the truth. Before I go to brother Les, and also want to give a shout out to brother Silas Ashley, another one of my tribal elders. Adam Silas Ashley was a president, I believe, a president of an early president of Black United Students at Kent State University. I know you served as Black United Students vice president.
That's correct.
And brother Silas Ashley, he's one of my OGs, and he's also he's the president of the Kent State Black Alumni Committee. So if anybody saw me hosting the event for our late great Professor Dean Timothy Timothy Moore, if people saw me hosting that, that was all due to Brother Silas Ashley. He put that together, man. It was a wonderful event. And so yeah, Silas is hard at work for the Black Alumni uh, Committee, the Kent State University Black Alumni Committee. So big ups to Brother Silas Ashley in the building. Kent State Black United Students OG up and through here. So I see he's watching. So I want to give him a shout out. Yeah, Sister Nusha, I said Illuminati. Anyway, Illuminati got my body while we rocking at the party. But no, we're not really in the Illuminati. But anyway, Brother Morgan, you wanna say anything on the way out? And I appreciate you jumping in at the last minute. I put the call out, you answered the call, and you brought some people with you. So anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Well, I just appreciate Mr. Williams and Miss Bonner for coming in and accompanying me today. And I also like to give a shout out to William T. Price and his family. You know, he just passed COVID like about a week and a half ago. That was my man, like 50 grand. And thanks for having me, Special. It's always
Hey,
a pleasure.
no doubt. And peace to the family, love and light to the family, friends, brothers. A T Price, man. That's a brother who, hey, and you know what? I'm not even go, pull any punches. That's a brother who, who was on the fence uh about vaccines, and we can't keep doing this, man. Sean, that's why I keep sharing Sean's page, Science with Sean. We have hesitancy. We deal with rumors and misinformation and innuendo uh about the vaccine, about the virus itself. I know we hear a lot about it, some issues with uh the nanoparticles and what people think that means. We hear people talking about Tuskegee and how that may relate to it. Man, we dealing with a global pandemic out here. This virus is real, and Black people are disproportionately affected by it, and unfortunately, we are disproportionately hesitant to get vaccinated. So but look for some more things about that information. Now we had somebody in here, Adam. Now if I let somebody in and they come on clowning before we leave out.
You gotta give him the face, give him the face.
Okay, let me say I'm gonna let this person in. If they come on here clowning, it's gonna be a problem. Let's see. I'm my button. I got my hand on the kick out button. Let's see. Somebody wants to join us. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Man, I okay. Let's see if they are coming in. I let them in, but I think that they may have just dropped out right before I was getting ready to let them in. I was just hitting the button. It was Jay Homie or something like that. So I don't know, Adam, I don't know if that's one of your people. Jay Homie. Okay, well, they're gone. But hey, everybody keep up the good work, man. We gotta, fight like my man Chuck D said, we gotta fight the power. Uh okay, here we go. Johnny Hanson. Anybody know Johnny Hanson? Okay, we about to let Johnny Hanson in the building. Louis Lou is now watching us. Louis Lou's in Lebanon. He around the corner from Sean. Okay, let's let Johnny Hanson in. We're gonna see if Johnny Hanson. It could be somebody doing something crazy, but we'll see. We'll see. Come on in, Johnny Hanson.
For nothing.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Let me hit that remove. See? Okay, now I get the report. Who I want to report? Johnny Hanson. What happened? Okay, let's see. What's my choices? Offensive, illegal. Okay, what would we call that? I call it offensive and some foolery. I can't put foolery. All right, let me put in my email. Just a second. Just a second. All right. Submit it. Johnny, don't let me find you, bro. You about to get that work. I'm looking for Johnny. Anyway, see, that's what I get for trying to let people in at the end of the show. They on here clowning. But anyway, we appreciate everybody that came on the show. All the people that watched the show. Louis Lou over in Lebanon, Tennessee. What's going on, Lou? He's a Warrensvillian by nature. But big ups to Louis Lou. You know, always good to see my hip hop OGs. Louis Lou could sing, dance, and beatbox and rap all at the same time. He can do it all at the man. Louis. Hey, and Louis Lou, matter of fact, Louis Lou was a part of a group called Wave Motion, a hip hop dance group called OG. Adam, your boy Todd Sams, one of the greatest hip hop choreographers out on the planet right now, is responsible for choreography for Usher, for Chris Brown, for Beyonce. You know, that's my little bro. And
that's my bro too.
There you go. And Todd came up watching, said he credits, he was watching Louis Lou's group, New Wave.
We used to battle Todd and them. I was in Step So Steady.
Oh, okay. Step So Steady when they was Step Off crew.
Yeah, off 131st. Yeah, we used to get it in. That was my boys. They was Balance Boys from Shaker.
Yeah. The Step Off crew, Balance Boys, Coca-Cola Boys. I remember those days.
Yeah.
So Louis Lou was in the OG group, the Wave Motion, and him, Ronnie Knight, and Ronnie Knight, who's a regular participant with Chill Talk, Louis Lou, Ronnie Knight, and that brother Nunu. But he's one of those Cleveland hip hop OGs. Yeah, we set tripping, Sean. He said me 5 me. That's cool, bro. No, wait a minute, Sean. No, you not me 5 me. Dude, you in the Mossy Warrior clan, you in the pseudo killers, you in the you down with the Kofi Pie Side research team, bro. You ain't hardly me 5 me. Come on, you come on. We all set tripping up in here. All right, I'm up out of here, y'all. I love y'all. The super producer be back next week. Let's get Sean and the Kofi Pie Side research team up in here. Sister Vicki, I appreciate you falling through in the last minute. Brother Richard, I appreciate you falling through in the last minute. Brother Morgan, you already know what it is, bro. I'm up out of here. Let's throw up them deuces. We gone. Peace.